Since Lightfall is just around the corner, we have a lot of weapons in the loot pool right now that may or may not be disappearing with the coming expansion. With all those weapons, it can be a little overwhelming on finding weapons to do the right job. Well, let me help alleviate that. Hi, my name is Mothman. Come and sit down with me and I'll tell you about the weapons I highly recommend looking out for. To make it a little simpler, since there is a metric butt ton of weapons, I will separate them into primary, special, and heavy slots respectively. Let's get into it. Primary weapons are the backbone of everyone's playstyle, and it really tells a lot about people by what primary they use. Okay, not really, it's a video game, but it does show what people enjoy, like I'm about to show you, starting with two very strong primary weapons, the funnel web from world drops and prolonged engagement from strikes. It constantly goes around as a joke that these weapons are the new insert element here recluse. Truth be told, I think they're even better than the recluse, mainly because they have random rolls, but let's be honest, if you're reloading these guns, you're using them wrong. Barrels and mag perks are almost always going to be personal preference based on what you're doing, but the perk columns for both of these guns are stacked. PvE, you are using subsistence no matter what, since it pairs with its Vice Stinger origin trait, and reloading these guns at that point are a thing of the past. PvP, I use Killing Wind, but Perpetual Motion is also a great alternative. Fourth column perks, for PvE wise, you have Frenzy and Adrenaline Junkie, but a personal pick for me, and really what I highly recommend looking out for, is Thresh. I use it in a build with Mantle of Battle Harmony back when we had Volatile Flow. It just made Funnel Web so much fun to use, and I cannot recommend it enough. PvP though, Rangefinder is still the king in the fourth column, which surprisingly both can roll with that same combo, but Prolonged Engagement can roll with twice as many perks as Funnel Web, like Surrounded, which was recently buffed, One for All, Headstone, or even Adagio if that tickles your fancy. I recently picked up my Subsistence Headstone roll and it feels fantastic. I can't recommend trying that combo out enough. To get the Funnel Web, get lucky with World Drops, or you can go to the Helm and focus it with the Vice Umbral Focusing at the Star Map from Season 18. And for Prolonged Engagement, go farm some Strikes or Nightfalls. But be warned, if any of these weapons currently can be focused from Umbral Engrams, they will be exclusively dropped from their original source as Umbral Engrams are going away in Lightfall or Season 20. Now, we have short range weapons covered. Now, let's add some range into the mix. We got a Scout Rifle, Pulse Rifle, and an Auto Rifle to add in the mix. Let's start with the Auto Rifle, which will probably come to most people a surprise. I present unto you the Tiger Spite. Wait, why are you clicking off the video? I'm serious. Tiger Spite is actually fantastic, and it's relatively easy to acquire right now, mind you. Tiger Spite, in my opinion, has always been one of the strongest auto rifles in the game. If you want a PvE setup, Subsistence or Overflow paired with Frenzy or Demo. PvP wise, Outlaw Kill Clip continues to reign superior. However, if you want overall consistency, Threat Detector or Surplus paired with Unrelenting doesn't sound half bad either. How you get this gun nowadays is still Dreaming City activities, but playing Blind Well now awards a drop from every completion, even on tier 1 completions. So you can do that. You can also get it from the Dreaming City Arsenal focusing from the war table in Season 16. Moving to the Scout Rifle, we have our first raid weapon and crafted weapon on top of that. Trusty is from the Deepstone Crypt, and this gun has a personal place in my heart. I took a break from D2 way back when Shadowkeep came out and came back in Beyond Light. Before then I never did any raids, but in Beyond Light, Deepstone Crypt was the first raid I actually cleared. I got the Trusty from the first clear and I fell in love with this bad boy instantly. The weapon is even more of a hot topic now with its updated perk pool, ability to be crafted, and a fantastic origin trait that grants ability energy on a hit, not even a kill. PvP role, unsurprisingly, is the same thing I was hunting for about 2 years ago, at least for me, Reconstruction Wellspring. But now it gets actual damage perks with Swashbuckler, Focus Fury, and Incandescent. After getting a roll with Incandescent, that is definitely an S tier perk option and might honestly replace Wellspring for me. If you want to use this in PvP, I respect your decision, however, I am horrified by you. Look for Surplus, Under Pressure with High Impact Reserves, or Opening Shot now that it rolls on the gun. Trusty can be acquired from the first encounter of DSC, or you can buy it with spoils from the chest at the end of the raid. Now, moving on to the Pulse Rifle, and one I highly recommend going after, Insidious from Vow of the Disciple. The first aggressive frame pulse rifle introduced since Sacred Providence from Garden of Salvation, it has definitely made its mark on the meta. When it first came out, it was my priority making this thing crafted. Shockingly, I don't have a lot to say about the gun, it usually speaks for itself. My role is Dragonfly Rampage, which got even better since both of those perks got buffed with Season 19 alongside Surrounded. But the gun has so many great roles. Heating up or rapid hit Rampage, Demo, Adrenaline Junkie, Stats for All, One for All. It can even get Vorpal if that's what you want. Insidious drops from the Caretaker encounter, as well as Rolk and the final chest for spoils. Special weapons have been in a very weird place for a long time. Shotguns are really unexciting in PvE, snipers are good on some targets but not monumental in terms of DPS, glaives are, well, glaives, and fusion rifles are good, but there aren't any notable ones to write home about this year. The special weapons that have knocked me out of the park this season are grenade launchers. They have just been so much fun to use this year, and there are two that I fell in love with. Keeping with the theme of Vow, we have Forbearance. This Waveframe grenade launcher is the best for ad clear, and I will disagree with anyone who says otherwise. Who needs Dead Messenger when everything just explodes anyways? Ambitious Assassin rolls on this, and should be the only perk you want in that column. The fourth column, however, has some great perks. Rampage, One for All, Wellspring, Golden Tricorn, but Chain Reaction remains my number one pick in this column. Should crafted weapons one day have the ability to add a second set of perks, I would either add Rampage or Wellspring, but I value Chain Reaction since I'm not usually using this for boss DPS. It's just ad clear, but it's fantastic at what it does. It drops from Caretaker and Rolk, same as Insidious. Next up, this is the one I don't hear a lot of people talking about. Lingering Dread from Duality. Why the hell do I love this grenade launcher? Well, it's a one-of-a-kind grenade launcher in that it's stasis, meaning it gets access to the all-wonderful perk known as Chill Clip. Chill Clip on some guns are cool, but on Lingering Dread, it procs on every hit, meaning every single shot will slow enemies and a second hit will freeze targets. I love pairing this with Ambitious Assassin and Spike Grenades, since both grenades will proc Chill Clip. It makes this gun surprisingly good at taking down majors, ultras, or even champions, especially since Stasis resets the sun feature on champions. Season of the Seraph makes this weapon even better since it has Unstopped Grenade Launcher in the new Weaken Clear. Even if you don't want a grenade launcher for damage, it gets auto-loading blinding combo, which is hard to say no to. The only thing that sucks on this gun is it's locked behind purchase content, so you have to buy it to even attempt to get it. It is your decision if you choose not to buy the dungeon. There are other alternatives that probably do its job better. I just find it fun to use. If you do purchase the dungeon, it comes from the first encounter, Galron, and the final encounter, Keitel, in the extra chest. Well, now we have come to heavy weapons. Now I could go and tell you about the top DPS meta weapon, Taipan, but that weapon is craftable and so easy to get now that a fungus could do it. Instead, I'm going to tell you about one gun that I have become infatuated with due to its recent buffs. It was never a terrible weapon, it just needed some tender love and care. Which gun am I talking about? It's Commemoration from Deepstone Crypt. The Commemoration, after receiving multiple buffs in the recent months, has become a monstrous beast of an LMG that helped me through master level content, and alongside its new perks has solidified itself as the newest top tier legendary LMG. Imagine, if you would, if Hammerhead and 21% Delirium had a love child, and then that love child went to the gym and did a shit ton of steroids and got super roided out. Well, we all remember Hammerhead, the first legendary LMG, in D2, fantastic gun, 21% Delirium, the introduction to Killing Tally, fantastic pinnacle weapon. Well, Commemoration not only now gets Killing Tally, but you can pair it with its unique perk of Reconstruction, which means you get double the magazine after a short time of not shooting, or you can just go straight up Subsistence and just never reload at all, depending on the meta for Lightfall as well, since it was teased in a recent TWAB that it will be changed up if LMGs are even close to linear fusion rifles in terms of DPS. This bad boy gets firing line now. So regardless, this weapon is great for ad clear, but boss DPS could be in its future depending on how the meta shifts. Anyway, I think that's all for me. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to comment on your opinions on certain weapons that you're keeping an eye out for, still hunting, or the trophies you have from those hunts. Anyways, have a great day, and may the hunt begin.